Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years. But there should be no hesitation in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about juices versus smoothies, which is better and which should you do more often. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, which has tons of articles and recipes, hundreds. Check out my podcast, The Awakened Man, my books, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Just so you know, if you watch these chronologically, the days of 2 episodes a day are over now that I've gone through the 3 main series. So now we're just going to do an episode a day. So juices versus smoothies. I do brush upon this tangentially in the episode that I did on kitchen items that help me maintain my weight, on juicing. And I also covered it on the episode how you should not eat acai bowls. So when it comes to juices versus smoothies, it's kind of a false dichotomy. It's not like you have to choose one or the other. There is a place for both of them in your life. I mentioned the juicing episode that juice fasting is a good way to clear out your colon and your intestines entirely. If you do like a juice fast for a few days, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would not recommend doing these juice diets and these, you see these fad diets where you juice for a week or just drink lemon water for a week with cayenne, all these just kind of super draconian crash diets because they're not maintainable and they're not necessarily healthy. So if you're juicing and it's a wide variety of typical green juices, maybe mixed with a little beet, there's no problem with it. Now juicing in general, if you juice at home, and I would not buy the commercial juices because those were made a long time ago, not to mention they're swimming in BPA plastic. I would tell you that if you're gonna drink the juices, make them fresh, and you'll notice that they do just give you a lot of energy, right? There's this boost of energy when you drink a juice that you necessarily don't get when you're drinking anything else. There's just that freshly made juice that's just bursting with all those macronutrients and those micronutrients and those polyphenols and just whatever, vitamins, minerals, enzymes that you're getting on the particular vegetable. It's just, you can taste it. You can taste the freshness of it. And I think that's great. Now, juicers is a separate problem. Juices, I get so frustrated because they're so hard to clean and the maintenance can be a pain in the butt. But juicing has its place. Smoothies have their place too. Now, I have an episode here on kitchen items that have helped me maintain my weight on smoothies. And I have 4 or 5 episodes over at naturopathicearth.com, or I think it's also, you can just go to the episode notes because there's 100 pounds off for 30years.com as well. We'll get you there. I have, at least 5 episodes, 5 recipes, I should say, on how to make a good smoothie. I would tell you that it depends what you want. A well-made smoothie, and again, don't buy Jamba Juice, don't buy Naked or Odolala smoothies, the ones you find in grocery stores, because they don't have any fat. They're just teeming with sugar, and they're just not nutrient dense, and they're just not good for you, and they're overpriced, to be honest. So if you're gonna make a smoothie or have a smoothie, make one at home. Now the key ingredient to making a smoothie is, as I mentioned before, make sure it has a lot of fat in it because it'll fill you up. It's almost like those Slim Fast shakes we used to do back in the day. That will fill you up, but this will fill you up more. Because look, if you're putting in full fat whole milk, if you don't have a problem with milk, and you're putting in Greek yogurt, which is probiotic, full fat, those things in themselves will make the smoothie not only taste better, but all the frothier. If you do a smoothie with ice, it doesn't taste that good. And I wouldn't do it with orange juice because orange juice is pure sugar. So don't want to do it. You do it with milk or milk alternative. And then I would put yogurt, and then you can throw in a little avocado if you want to get a little more protein, a little almond butter in there, just to get a little more fat and protein, and then throw in the fruit. I typically do an unripened banana and a blueberry smoothie. The unripened banana is prebiotic and has less sugar, and then the blueberries are so good. And then I throw in some cinnamon. Sometimes I'll throw in a little spinach just to get some cruciferous in there because you really can't taste it. And so when I make those smoothies, they're very fresh too, especially if you drink them right after you make it. The worst is when you put a smoothie like in a Tupperware container and then drink it 6 hours later. It just does not taste good, especially at room temperature. But the smoothies can be a meal replacement. And what you're getting in the smoothies that you're not getting in the juices is the fiber of the fruits that you're putting in there. You don't get that with juices. So when I juice, I'm like, God, this sucks. All this celery and beet and cucumber, I'm not getting any of this fiber. I'm just getting the juice. The juice is good for you, but I'm not getting the fiber, and fiber is good for your digestive health. And it is good for making you feel full. And we need 30 grams of fiber a day. So when you're juicing and not getting fiber that way, you're going to have to find fiber elsewhere in your diet. And if you're eating a plant-based diet, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but still. So if I had to pick one over the other, I would tell you that they both have a place. But if you had to pick one over the other, I would tell you a well-made smoothie trumps and supersedes juicing, in my opinion, because of the amount of fiber you're getting, but also because it's going to fill you up. Juices don't fill you up, but a well-made smoothie with a lot of Greek yogurt and with a lot of milk and a lot of fruits and vegetables will fill you up much longer than a juice. So in the long run, if you're doing a juice, especially if you're not doing a 3-day juice fast, juice is great, but you're going to get hungry 2 hours later. So in the long run, you're probably going to be ingesting more calories if you're doing a juice. But with smoothies, they will fill you up. Now, there's a question of chewing, and either of them won't fill you up as much because the body likes the feeling of chewing. Either way, I would tell you, do smoothies over juices. Juices have their place, but I would do smoothies, a well-made smoothie, and I think overall, you're getting much more of a macronutrient and micronutrient profile with going with well-made smoothies. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.